Welcome to yoga. My name is Lynda. We're going to begin our practice today, standing at the tops of our mats in a nice strong mountain pose. So let's roll the shoulders back and down. Tuck the tailbone, engage the muscles in the core, your arms and your legs. So pull up with the kneecaps to engage the quads. Allow the eyes to close softly. And start to tune into how you're breathing, how you're feeling mentally and physically. Just becoming aware. And then start to breathe into the belly, the ribs, and the chest. Full 3-part yogic breathing. And just notice what that feels like as you inhale and as you exhale. Breathing fully through the nose. Invite evenness to your full breath. And if you practice Ujjayi breathing, slowly start to turn on sound by slightly constricting at the back of your throat. Please honor your bodies during this practice today. Skip or modify any poses you need to. Child's pose is always available to you. Let's bring the hands together at the heart, rub them together, and slowly open the eyes. And let's take a deep breath in, reach up and look up. Exhale and forward fold. As you inhale, lift the heart, sternum goes forward. As you exhale, step it back to plank. If you'd like to come down for chaturanga, shift the body weight forward. Knees can be up, knees can be down. You shift forward, you come down. And then you come into either baby cobra, full cobra, or up dog with the legs off the mat. And then we come together in downward facing dog. Feet hip width apart, parallel. And let's just walk this dog out. So pedal your feet. Then check out your hands. Make sure the fingers are spread wide. Arms are strong, biceps wrapping forward, triceps wrapping back. Good. One more pedal each side. Even out your dog. If your hamstrings are tight, please put a slight bend in your both knees in every down dog. Look forward between your hands. You can step or lightly float to the top of your mat. When you get there, fingertips to the mat or the shins. Lift the heart. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up and reach for the sky. And then finish off the pose. Let's keep moving with the breath. Inhale. Exhale to swan. Lift the heart. Step or float it back. If you're doing chaturanga, shift forward, knees up or knees down. And then inhale into the heart opener of your choice. And downward facing dog. Notice your breathing as you start to warm up. Make sure your breath stays full and even. And let's look forward between the hands. Step or float. Ardha Uttanasana, looking forward. Uttanasana, taking a bow. And coming all the way up. And finishing off the pose. One more like that. Inhale. Exhale. Lift the heart. Step or float it back. Shift forward, knees up or knees down. Come on down. Heart opener of your choice. Squeeze the elbows in. Lift the belly up. And down dog. Breathe fully and evenly through the nose. Run through your down dog checklist. Feet hip width apart and parallel. Heels sinking. Palms pressing. Good. Let's come to all fours. navel to spine. Spread the fingers nice and wide and extend your right leg in the air behind you. Flex your right foot. Even your right hip with your left hip. Flex your right toes. Then reach your left arm forward. As you inhale, elbow comes into knee, knee comes into elbow, and then you reach away. Navel stay strong. And be careful not to arch the back as you reach away. One more. Good. Float the left palm down and reach the right arm forward. How is your balance? Keep the breath steady as well as the gaze. Now the right arm reaches for the sky. You can keep your right leg in the air, or you can float the inner edge of the foot to the mat. You can also extend the left leg and go deeper. Vashisthasana, any variation. Lift the hips, the ribs, and the belly. Take it to plank, shoulders over wrists, navel to spine. Remember, you can always do plank with both knees on the mat. Beautiful. Come back to all fours, extend your left leg. Flex your left toes. Even your left hip with your right hip. And then your right arm reaches forward. Navel to spine. Inhale, coming in. Exhale, reaching away. Two more. Keep the core engaged. And float the right palm down. Left palm reaches forward. How's your balance on this side? Reach the arm for the sky. Whatever variation you did on the other side, do it on this one as well if you can. Lifting the hips, the ribs, squeezing the navel toward the spine. Take it to plank. Remember, you can do plank with knees on the mat. Beautiful. And child's pose. Walk both arms over to the right, push the hips to the left, let the head hang heavy. Breathe. Both arms over to the left, push the hips to the right, and breathe. Good. Let's even out the child's pose, come up to all fours. And let's do some dynamic thread the needle. So keep your left palm connected to your mat. As you inhale, press the mat away with your left palm, float the right arm up. As you exhale, ears to the mat or to a block. Inhale, reach the right arm up. Exhale, thread. One more, let's reach it up. And hold your thread. Slide the shoulder blades down the back. You can reach the left arm forward or reach it around. Just keep the length in your neck. The evenness and steadiness in your breathing. Nice. Inhale. Float the left arm up. Left palm comes to the mat and navel to spine. Let's come up and switch sides. So right palm stays connected to the mat. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, thread. Bring it up. And thread. One more. And go as deep in the pose as you did on the other side. Keeping in the neck long by sliding the upper back muscles down away from the ears. Float your right arm up. Right palm comes back down to the mat. Let's come into plank pose. Optional vinyasa. You can shift forward Coming to the back bend of your choice, and then meet in down dog. If you need another child's pose here, please take it. Look forward between your hands, step or float to the top of your mat. Lift the heart. Take your bow. Let's come into chair pose. Glue everything together, starting with the big toes if you can. Sit back, weight in your heels. You can do cactus arms, hands at the waist, or arms overhead with lots of energy. Good, let's forward fold. Inhale, lift the heart. Step or float it back. Shift forward if you're doing your chaturanga. Cobra up dog if you'd like. And then downward facing dog. Float your right leg up. Feel free to stay here, bending the knee, maybe circling the hip. Or you can do a few rounds of three-legged plank, knee under chest, and then reach the toes for the sky. Knee under chest, toes to sky. One more if you want it. Everybody use your core. Bring that right foot forward between the hands and bring your left knee to the mat. Inhale, both arms overhead, low lunge. You're sinking your back thigh as you breathe, lifting the core, tucking the tail, plugging the hip into the socket. Straight line from your front knee to your front ankle. Breathe. If you'd like to give yourself a shoulder stretch here, feel free. If you want to skip all of that, then you could just rest your palms. Take another few breaths here, please. Low lunge. And let's straighten the front leg for half split. If it's available to you, curl the toes back toward the shin and walk your fingertips further forward and gaze down and breathe. If it's too intense with the toes curling back, just relax the foot or maybe point the toes. Another breath here. And let's put the front foot flat on the mat. Curl the toes under. Lift, step the front foot back. Optional vinyasa, knees up or knees down. You're shifting forward. And we come into down dog. Left leg lifts, bend the knee, open the hip. You can stay here with hip circles or a few rounds of knee under chest, shoulders over wrist, navel to spine. Leg to sky. Good job. One more. Everybody use your core. Slowly bring the knee underneath the chest. Pause. And then front foot forward between the hands. Back knee to the mat. Flatten the back foot. Arms reach for the sky. This is an option. You can interlace and stretch. Or you can rest the palms. Just use your breath to sink your back thigh closer. Keep the lift in the belly. Keep the length in the neck. Straight line, front ankle to front knee. Low lunge. Another yogic breath here. And straighten your front leg. If it's available to you, curl the toes back towards the front shin and walk your fingers as far forward as you can. Your gaze is down. Breathe, half split. Keep the core engaged. Stay with your breathing. Keep it full and even through the nose. One more breath here. And let's put the front foot flat on the mat. Curl the toes under, lift the back knee up. Step it back. Optional vinyasa. We're going to be in this down dog a few breaths, so if you need a break, this is an excellent time for a child's pose, or to get a sip of water, or to do both. Another breath in child's pose. Inhale, come up to all fours. Good. Curl the toes under, downward facing dog. Look forward between the hands, firm the belly, step or flow, top of the mat. Lift the heart. Take a bow. Chair pose, weight in the heels, navel to spine. Tailbone toward the earth. Good forward fold. Ardha Uttanasana. Step or floated back. Optional vinyasa. We meet in downward facing dog. Right leg lifts. Bend the knee. Circle the hips if you like. If you want some three-legged planks, let's bring the shoulders over the wrists and the right knee to the left elbow and pause. And then reach for the sky. 2 more if you want them. Everybody nice and slow. Use your core. Bring your right foot forward between your hands. And take the back knee to the mat, low lunge. Take the arms wherever you like. Overhead. Shoulder stretch. Or resting the palms. Just breathe. Soften the shoulders down away from the ears. Lift the belly, tuck the tail down. Breathe in low lunge. I hope you're staying connected to your breath and that you are taking breaks if you need them. Let's straighten the front leg, flex the front foot, curl the toes back toward the shin. And again, walk the fingertips as far forward as you can without a struggle. And take your gaze down to your mat and breathe. Half split. A few more breaths here. Make sure we get nice and open. Beautiful, front foot flat on the mat. Curl the toes under, lift the back knee up, step it back. Optional vinyasa, knees can be up, knees can be down. You shift forward. Squeeze the elbows in. Keep the belly lifted, back bend, and down dog. Left leg lifts. You can stay here with hip circles. Or left knee to right elbow, shoulders over wrist, navel to spine. One more if you want it. Everybody slowly shift forward. Left foot comes forward between the hands. Right knee goes to the mat, low lunge. Take your hands wherever you have them on the other side. Breathe, lift the core. Relax the shoulders. Straight line front knee to front ankle. Tailbone pointing down. Hopefully you're working up a little bit of a sweat. And your hips are feeling a little more open. Take another breath here. And let's straighten the front leg, flex the front foot. Walk the fingertips as far forward as you can without a struggle. Flex the toes back as much as you can. And gaze down toward your mat and breathe. Keep the neck relaxed. Keep the face relaxed. Stay in the moment with your stretch and your breath. Front foot flat, curl the toes under, lift the back knee up. Step the front foot back. You can go straight to child's pose. You can do a vinyasa. Or you can go directly to down dog. Lots of options. Pick the one that's right for you. Again, we're going to be in this down dog a little bit. So if you want to take a break, please take one. If you're in child's pose, navel to spine. Inhale up to all fours. Curl the toes under. And lift the hips up. You're in down dog. Let's bend the knees, everybody. Walk your hands back to meet your feet. Keep the bend in your knees. Separate your feet hip width apart. We're going to do hand to big toe pose. So keep the bend in both knees. Legs hip width apart. First two fingers and thumb get a good grip on the big toes. As you inhale, look forward. Slide the upper back muscles down away from the ears. Create a long neck. As you exhale, keep the length in your neck. Press down with your big toes. Gently pull with your arms. As you breathe, Padagustasana, hand to big toe pose. So stay with your breath. If your hamstrings are really tight, just bend your knees more. If that still doesn't help, release the big toes and hold on to the backs of the legs and work from there. Listen to your body. Good. Let's inhale to look forward. Exhale, bring the hands to the waist. Root from the four corners of the feet. Navel pulling in and up. Come all the way up. Back bend at the top if you want one. And come back to neutral. Roll the shoulders back and down. Tuck the tail, lift the belly, engage the muscles. And step the feet back together. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Hands overhead, cactus pose or at your waist. Just make sure you're sitting back, weighting your heels. Tailbone toward the mat, as opposed to the wall behind you. Can you sink deeper? Notice your breathing. One more breath here. And let's come on down. Ragdoll pose. Bend your knees a lot and just let your head be heavy. You can sway from side to side or you can be still. Let's separate the feet hip width apart for hand under foot. So get your entire palm underneath your foot so that your toes are at your wrist crease. So entire foot underneath your palm, toes to your wrist crease. Feet hip width apart. Inhale to look forward, lengthen the neck. Exhale, press down with the feet, pull up and in with the arms. Breathe and stretch. Hand underfoot, Padahastasana. Press down with the feet, pull up and in with the arms. Get your wrist stretch and your hamstring stretch. Let it happen. The breath will help you. Good. Inhale, look forward. Let's bring the hands to the waist. Again, rooting from the four corners of the feet. Let's come all the way up. Optional back bend if you want one. And come right up to mountain pose. Step to the top of your mat. Let's inhale, reach out. Forward fold. Ardha Uttanasana. Step or float it back. Chaturanga if you want. Bring it up to the back bend of your choice. And down dog. Let's come to all fours for forearm plank. Line your shoulders up over your elbows. Press down with the forearms. You can have both knees lifted. You can have both knees on the mat. There's lots of options here if you'd like to spice it up. You can bring the knee to the outside of the elbow. Navel to spine, pressing down with the forearms, lifting up with the belly. That's one option. You can do the same thing, but keep one knee down. You could turn it into dolphin push-ups. Lift the hips up and come back to forearm plank. Keep the lift in the belly. Press down with the forearms, lift up with the belly. Remember, you can always use your knees. Two more, if you want them. And child's pose, please. Knees can be together or apart, your call. I hope you're feeling good. I hope you're staying with the moment. Let's inhale back up to all fours. Bring the forearms back down to your mat for dolphin pose. So we start in forearm plank. Pressing down with the forearms, lifting up with the belly. Lift the hips way up, walk the feet forward. A couple of steps. Bend the knees if you need to. Heels reach down. This is one option. You can do these dolphin push-ups. Chin coming forward and back. You can alternate lifting the legs. Wherever you are in dolphin pose, make sure you are there with integrity. You have steadiness and ease in your breathing. No struggles on the mat. And child's pose. Good job. So lots of options are coming up. Forearm plank, any variation. Dolphin pose, any variation. If headstand is a part of your practice and you've done it before and you're comfortable doing it, you can go for it. If you've never done it before, please don't do it because I'm not there to spot you. So lots of options. You also have the option to hang out in child's pose. So pick what works best for you in this moment and let's go. Wherever you are, keep the lift in the belly. Make sure the shoulders are over the elbows. You're really rooting down through the forearms. You can try a couple of different things. Pressing down with the forearms, lifting up with the belly. Breathing. Good. And child's pose, everyone, please. Remember to drink water as much as you want. And let's make our way to our tummies. Let's rest on your right or left ear. Or your forehead, if that's more comfortable. Arms right by your side. For back bends, for locust pose. So start by lifting the belly button up, lengthening your tailbone down towards your feet. And then lift everything up except for your gaze. You're looking down, neck in alignment with the spine. Belly lifting. Any variation with the arms. Shoulders stretch. Moving the arms forward and back, having them out. Having them closer to the hips. Come on down and rest. Let's do that again. Locust pose. Lift the belly button, lengthen the tailbone, lift the body. Can you lift the heart higher without compromising the neck or the breath? Come on down. One more time. Lift the belly, lengthen the tailbone. Breathe. Lift the heart. And come on down. Let's bring the right forearm to the front edge of the mat. Bend the left knee. Hold onto the left foot or ankle with your left hand. Press down with your forearm. Lift the heart. Press the upper back muscles down away from your ears. Squeeze your glutes. Push your hip bones into the mat. Feel the stretch along the front of your thigh. So squeeze your glutes. Push the hip bones into the mat. Press the forearm into the mat. Slide the upper back muscles down as you lift the belly button. And lengthen your tailbone. Should feel like a very good stretch for the front of the thigh. If you don't like the back bend, come on down. If you're happy here, make sure you're there with integrity. Forearm pressing, neck stays long. All right, let's switch sides. Squeeze the glutes, push the hip bones into the mat, press the mat away. Slide the upper back muscles down away from your ears. Breathe and stretch. One leg might be more open than the other. That's perfectly normal. See if you can squeeze the glutes a little more. Get the hip bones closer to the mat. Press down with the forearm, lift with the heart. Lift with the belly. Breathe. And come on down. Rest on the right or left ear or forehead. Bend your knees. Take them side to side. Like windshield wipers. Good job. Let's take a child's pose. Beautiful work, everyone. Navel to spine. Inhale up to all fours. Exhale, curl the toes under. Come to downward facing dog. If you'd like to put a vinyasa in there first, you can. Look forward between the hands. Step or float to the top of the mat. Ardha Uttanasana, lifting the heart. Uttanasana, taking a bow. Let's inhale, come all the way up and reach for the sky. Exhale, hands down by your heart. Let's come to the top of the mat and take a giant step back with the right foot for triangle pose. So both legs are straight and strong. If you need a block, it can be to the inside or to the outside of the front leg, your preference. Front heel to back arch. Engage the muscles in the legs. Pull up with the kneecaps. Inhale. Arms are strong. Energize the fingers as well. Reach forward and come on down. Trikonasana. If you'd like to extend it, Utthita Trikonasana. Keep the energy in the legs, the steadiness in the breath. And let's come up and reach back and reverse the triangle. And take it back into triangle pose again. Extend it if you like by taking the arm over the ear. Shoulders are stacked. Muscles are engaged. Good. If you have your block, you're going to bring it with you. Inhale, come up and reach back, reversing the triangle. Good. Let's reverse the feet to do triangle pose to the back of the mat. Take your block and place it where you need it to be. And there's help from my doggies, wondering when they were going to help us. So engage the muscles in the legs, and the arms and the core. Reach forward, come on down, Trikonasana. Feel free to take it to Uttita Trikonasana. You're stacking the shoulders, you're opening the heart, you're breathing, keeping the muscles engaged. Let's come on up and reach back and reverse the triangle. And exhale, take it back into triangle pose. Nice. You can leave your block where it is. Inhale up and reverse. Good. Exhale, bring the arms shoulder height. Make both feet face the front edge of your mat. Interlace the fingers together behind your back. Roll your shoulders back and down. Lift up. As you exhale, come on down. Look at your feet when you get down and turn your toes in a little bit. Soften the knees if you need to as you evenly distribute the body weight over the foot. So, in other words, don't dump the body weight in the balls or the heels. Make the body weight even over the foot. Or feet, rather. Take another breath here. Good. Now let's bring the hands down. Heel toe the feet in till they're about hip width apart. You may or may not need your block, or you may need to do child's pose. We're coming into Malasana. So if your heels are high, you can roll your mat over and put your feet, your heels underneath, on top of your mat, or you can use a towel or a block. If you get here and your body doesn't like it, take it to chair pose. If you get here and you want more, take it to crow or side crow. Squeeze the knees in, squeeze the navel in and up. It's a great hip opener. If your knees will allow you to do it. Keep the lift in the belly, squeeze the knees in. Good, and ragdoll pose. Slowly roll it up, keeping the bend in both knees. Come to the top of your mat. Tadasana. Inhale. Exhale. Lift the heart. Step or float it back. Optional vinyasa. Downward facing dog. Let's float the right leg up in the air. Bend the knee, open the hip. And using the core, let's come forward. Bring the shoulders over the wrist. Bring the knee underneath the chest. Then take the knee toward your right wrist. And then take your knee to the mat. Pigeon pose. Make sure the back hip is facing the mat. Our back thigh is facing the mat. Top of the foot is flat. If you're happy up, stay up. If you want to come down, you can come down. Lots of options to change it up. You can just walk both arms over to the right. Take a few breaths here. And then take them over to the left for the same number of breaths. Feel free to change up your pigeon. Breathe into your hip. Feel something good happen. If this does not feel good, if for some reason pigeon pose doesn't feel good, just ease your way out of it. Ease yourself onto your back and take your right ankle to your left thigh. Lace your hands at your left hamstring and thread your needle. So if pigeon pose doesn't feel good, please thread the needle. You can add movement to your needle. Stay connected to your breath and the moment. Let's take a few more breaths here. Most of us have tight hips. One more breath here. And ease your way out of either pigeon or your needle. And make your way back to downward facing dog. Optional vinyasa. Float the left leg up, bend the knee, open the hip. And slowly bring the shoulders over the wrist. Bring the knee forward. Take it toward the wrist, left wrist. And then take it to the mat. Pigeon pose or thread the needle. Any variation. So if you did a variation on the other side, for example, walking the arms over to breathe, and then taking the arms to the other side, please do that. Any variation that you did on the other side, please do it on this side as well. Just breathe into your hips, whether you're in your pigeon or your thread. They're both equally good stretches. It just depends on what's best for your body in the moment. So let's stay with our breath. Stay in the moment. Let's slowly lift the torso. Roll to the outer edge of the front hip. Swing the back leg around. Let's extend both legs. Flex the feet for Paschimottanasana. If you're tight in your hips or your hamstrings, feel free to sit on a blanket or a block, or a foam roller if you have. Soften the knees if the hamstrings are telling you to. Flex the feet if you can. Inhale and exhale. So if your hands are not making their way to your feet, no big deal. Wherever your hands land, hold on. Gaze down towards your legs and your mat. Keep the neck long and keep the spine long. In other words, we're coming forward into the stretch without rounding. So heart forward, shoulders back, and breathe. Drink lots of water. Let's take another breath here. That's what my puppies want us to do, it seems. And ease out. Let's go for Janusarasana A. Sole of the right foot to the left inner thigh. Make sure the left leg is directly in front of you and your foot is flexed. Inhale. Slight rotation as you forward fold. Exhale. Wherever your hands land, hold on. Gentle pull. Your gaze is down. You're breathing and stretching. Janusarasana A. Stay here. This should feel good. But even though we're cooling down, please keep your breath full and even through the nose. One more breath here. Slowly ease out of the pose. Let's switch sides. Flex your right foot. Inhale and exhale. Remember, wherever your hands land, that's where they're meant to be. You're going to hold on. Gaze down. Bring the heart forward. Take the shoulders back. Long spine as you breathe and stretch. Janusarasana A. Breathe and stretch. Let's take another breath here. Some company wants to come in. And let's ease out of the pose. Extend both legs, shake them out. Let's go for Navasana, boat pose. So navel to spine. Relax the shoulders back and down, lift the heart, lift the belly button, lift the legs. Legs can be bent or straight. Any variation. You can come for Ardha, taking yourself down and up. Keep the lift in the core. Let's go for reverse tabletop. Your fingertips will face your glutes. Press down with the palms. You're going to lift the hips up. Your gaze can either be straight ahead to the ceiling, or you can let your head fall back if that feels good. Lift the hips as much as you can. Let's come halfway down. Keep the rear end off the mat and slide your rear end behind your wrist and press down with the palms. Lift up and back with the rear end. Lift up and back with the rear end. And come on down. Good. Let's do Navasana. Knees bent or straight. Bringing it to Ardha. Any variation of boat pose. Let's take another breath here. Good. Reverse tabletop. Your fingertips are facing your glutes. You're lifting your hips. You're taking your gaze to where your neck is okay. Lift your hips as much as you can. And we're going to come halfway down and slide the rear end behind the wrist. You're pressing up and back with the rear end, pressing the mat away with the palms. Lift with the core, lift with the core, arms and core, and come on down. Good job. Let's extend the legs on the mat. Navel to spine, arms reach forward. As you squeeze the navel in and up, scoop the tailbone under. Roll halfway down to your mat. Pause. And from here, keep using your core. Make your way all the way down to your back. When you get down, it's bridge pose time. So any variation of bridge, feet close together, feet wide apart, a block or a towel between the inner thighs, arms pressing down, hips lifting up. You can come to the heels of the feet or the balls. You can rock back and forth. Whatever works for you, press with the arms. Check in with the neck. Make sure you're not jamming the neck into the mat. If you want a shoulder stretch, interlace. Walk the shoulders in, reach the palms toward the feet. Lift the hips and breathe. And let's come on down. Hug the knees into the chest. And if you'd like to go for shoulder stand, you've done it before and you want to go for it, go for it. I have a neck injury, so I will not be doing shoulder stand. If you want to skip shoulder stand, but you want the benefits, just grab a block or a foam roller. It can even be like a hardback book. Maybe if you wrap it in a towel to soften it up. And put your tailbone on it and keep your tailbone connected and lift the feet up. So whether you're in shoulder stand or tailbone down, feet up, everybody's getting the same benefit. This is just less risky in case you have an injury. Feel free to move the legs around. And just take a few more breaths here. If you're in shoulder stand, make your way to plow pose. Your feet may or may not touch the floor behind you. It's okay. And if you're in plow pose, pin the knees to the ears, navel to spine. Roll yourself down to your mat. If you're on a block or anything else, get rid of it. Let's hug the knees into the chest. Rock from right to left. You can do circles. You can do a combo. And let's cross the right leg tightly over the left. Shift the hips a few inches to the right. Drop the knees to your left. Extend the right arm in line with the right shoulder like half of the letter T, palm facing up or down. Right shoulder blade reaching for the mat. Good. And let's do our spinal twist to the other side. Shift the hips a few inches to the left. Drop both knees to the right. Extend your left arm in line with your left shoulder like half of the letter T. Left shoulder blade reaches for the mat. And let's come back for happy baby pose. You're very happy, happy baby. This is the best part of our practice. Shavasana. So if you'd like to take legs up the wall or use props, please do so. Otherwise, just let yourself get as comfortable as you can on your mat with or without props. Let the palms rest open as a signal you're ready to surrender. So close your eyes and just melt all of the tension out of your body, starting from the crown of your head, out through the fingertips and the toes. Soften, surrender, rest. Feel free to stay in Shavasana longer. If you're with me, slowly bring the knees into the chest and roll to one side. Make your way up to a comfortable seated position. Hands come together, thumbs rest at the heart as the chin bows. I thank you for coming and honoring your bodies on your mats today. Namaste. Have a great rest of your day. I thank you.